Hi guys and welcome back to my channel Popcorn Reviews. I'm Farhad. If you're new to this channel then please smash that subscribe button now. And this weekend marks one of the biggest weekends of the year given the Oppenheimer and Barbie clash. There were talks throughout the year about which film would be better. There were PR campaigns and so many other activities that raise the curiosity amongst the viewers on taking sides, and invariably also making a sort of a curiosity in the viewers to opt for both the films at the same time. And I think that was a brilliant PR marketing strategy by both Universal Studios and Warner Brothers. So today, first up, I have watched both the films, Oppenheimer and Barbie, but in this video, I'm going to be talking about only Oppenheimer, which is directed by my favorite director of all time, Christopher Nolan. Nolan hasn't made a bad film in his entire career. Yes, there might be a few films which are lesser than some of the others which he has made, but there has never been a bad film that he's ever made. Right from Following till Tenet, there have been certain challenging pieces of cinema that have been served to the audience, and it is, I think, Nolan's way of telling the audience about starting a discussion around the film. So when he announced that he was going to actually make a biopic, he was going the biopic route, I was a little surprised and a little shocked, I would say, because that is not the Nolan that I had known so far. And to top it, the biopic was of the man who had made the first atomic bomb, uh, who had contributed to the destruction of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in World War II in 1945. His name was Robert Oppenheimer, and that for me was a bit of a further stutter. I was a little more skeptical given that this was not one name that would instantly hit you like someone like an Einstein. Those were a little more mainstream scientists, so to say. Oppenheimer wasn't as mainstream as, so to say, an Einstein or somebody else. But the talks around the film had finally grappled me, and I was really looking forward to watching, especially after the behind the scenes visuals that were shown of Oppenheimer. So, then how is Oppenheimer as a film? Let's find out. Coming to the story and screenplay, Oppenheimer is a biopic. It's based on a novel called Prometheus. And it is on the biopic, it is on the life of Robert Oppenheimer, who is known as the maker of the atomic bomb. Now the story here is very cerebral, and it is meant for an intellectual audience. They did take a route of not opting for a mainstream sort of a narrative. It was more of a minimalistic narrative, you can say, which is more of talks and little actions, and that made for such a beautiful biopic, probably my favorite biopic of all time. Now the screenplay here, standing at a daunting runtime of over 3 hours, it did it was daunting, definitely, at the start of it, but by the end of it I wanted another hour, which is why it shows that there wasn't even a single dull moment for me. I was indulged in the screenplay right from the beginning, and it made for such an incredible watch. And I have a science background, by the way, so I absolutely enjoyed the science that was addressed in the especially in the first half. And that is one thing about Nolan movies, that because I have a science background, I am able to understand the film that much more better, and I really appreciate the films that much more better, be it Interstellar, or now, or Tenet for that matter as well, and or this one Oppenheimer. So the drama does open in a very peculiar fashion, in a good way. Firstly, it begins with a text on Prometheus, on how it did steal the fire from the gods only to be tied up at the end of it. And these lines just summarize the entire film so beautifully. Now, the film is divided into two chapters titled Fission and Fusion. And these are two scientific terms that are there, one shot in color, one shot in black and white. You are not given any context about which timelines are they following? Are they interconnected? Are they not? It's just two interrogations, two trials that are going on simultaneously, and this did give me a feeling of Memento. If you remember, Memento also had these two narratives that were running simultaneously, and that made for an incredible watch because it was instantly challenging the viewers to, put on your thinking hats and be attentive throughout. Also, you then later do get glimpses or flashbacks rather in non-linear fashion about the protagonist Oppenheimer, and you go through his love life, his personal life. Of course, there are lots of jargons about science and also his political ideologies. I would suggest if you can just read a little about it. If not, it's still okay. Just be a little more attentive than usual and you will get the hang of it. I did not read anything about it and I was attentive. I could get the hang of things about what is going on. It is a non linear narrative, by the way. It needs focus. There are talks and talks and talks, and you need to put yourself through these talks to understand the true essence of the film. And I absolutely enjoyed these talks, right from the inception of the atom bomb. And in the parallel track there is a geopolitical situation that has been changing, which has been changing throughout the Second World War, and leading up to that making of the atomic bomb. I think that was an incredible watch. But the atomic bomb part, the specific part when the atomic bomb is executed, I think that forms one of the pinnacles of cinema. That is where cinema peaked for me in a very, very big way. There was so much detailing to it. As you would know, the speed of light is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meters per second. The speed of sound is 340 meters per second. So definitely you would see light faster than sound, which is what it was shown. There was a flash of light that was shown, after which the sound, the vibrations of the sound kicked in, and that, really vibrated your seat. So you need a good screen and an excellent, so to say, speakers in the screen for a wholesome theatrical experience. It was a wonderful experience to watch. But at the end of it, it also focused on the psyche of the protagonist while the trial was on. It was almost like the entire life of his, owing up to the atomic bomb, was like the speed of light, and the trial essentially was the vibrations of the controversies that he found himself in. And that was a wonderful representation of his life as well with respect to the occupation that he was following. And I was amazed at the parallels that you could draw with today's times, the terms that you would be throwing, like anti-national or etc etc. There's a thing about power. The moment you stop agreeing to it and form your own opinions, the tables turn, and that is something that is shown wonderfully well. It is heartbreaking by the end of it. Also, as a parallel track, you also get to see some great scientists like Niels Bohr and Albert Einstein, and it was a wonderful experience for me. Being a science student myself, the science geek in me slept well last night, and that was wonderful to watch in what was one of the masterpieces of writing that I would say in recent times. It was absolutely a masterpiece, given the levels of detailing that they had approached in their writing as well. Now, coming to the technical department, the dialogues, the music, and the direction. The dialogues are conversational. You need to pay attention to them to truly understand the essence of the whole film. The music, the BGM is outstanding. The sound design, oof, beautiful sound design, and it made for a wonderful watch. You need to opt for a theater with good speakers to truly get the essence and the vibes of what is going on with respect to the sound that is there. Cinematography is outstanding. The way they've shot the atomic bomb elsewhere, the frames that are there, the close-ups that give you an insight into the mind of the characters. I think that was wonderful to watch as well. The editing was on point, absolutely on point. I have nothing to, to nitpick in terms of the flaws of the film. Director Christopher Nolan is absolutely the greatest of all times. He is GOAT, absolutely greatest of all times. He has outdone himself in this film. My previous favorite Nolan film would probably be the Dark Knight rather, the second on the Batman series, the Dark Knight, and this was right up there, and it made for such an incredible watch. The way he's created the situations, understood the nuances of the situation, understood the character dynamics and the power shifting dynamics between the characters, and presented it on screen all in an IMAX print. It was outstanding. Probably this is the first IMAX film to be shot in black and white also. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, but according to me, I think this is the first black and white IMAX film also. The parts of it which are black and white, not the full film, parts of it. So it was an outstanding piece of direction by Christopher Nolan. Coming to the performances, I feel the performances are incredibly good. You will see a host of, special appearances, right from Rami Malek to Kenneth Branagh, to who else is there? Florence Pugh is there. Many others are there. There are many special appearances, but the characters, all of them stand out. But some of them are Matt Damon, who is outstanding as a tough exterior, but a very endearing interior that he has in the character sense. Emily Blunt, known to voice her opinion, have her opinion, always guiding her husband, a fourth husband by the way, on screen. And it was a wonderful performance. Robert Downey Jr. is a revelation. It is a far cry from the comedic scenes that he's known for as Iron Man. This will break his image. I think he did a wonderful job with streaks of grey in his character. Excellent job here. And Cillian Murphy, I think he was outstanding to the core. Witness his eyes do the talking all the time, and he's calm and calculative, but also presents his vulnerabilities beautifully well. It was a performance to remember, and what was a masterclass in acting, absolutely. So overall, Oppenheimer is the time when cinema has peaked for me. I think this probably is a landmark weekend for me, given that I have watched two great films. I'm going to be making a video on Barbie also, which comes out tomorrow. But for this moment, Oppenheimer is a great watch. Has to be watched in the biggest screen possible with a great surround sound. That will ensure that you have an experience of a lifetime. If you've already watched Oppenheimer, let me know in the comments what did you make of it. If you're liking this video, please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, press that bell icon, share this video with your friends and family, all of which will help a small creator like me. If you'd like to read my detailed review of Oppenheimer on my site, Popcorn Reviews with a double S, the link of which is in the description box below, do visit that as well. Also follow me on different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Letterboxd. I do not end up making a video on everything that I watch, but I do write a lot. All information is present on my site, Popcorn Reviews with a double S, and on my social media handles. I'll see you again tomorrow with the review of Barbie, which is the second clash that is there, the second film that I'd watched. And stay tuned for that. Till then, thank you so much for your love and support, and take care of yourselves. Cheers.